welcome to the Morning After Group. Ali H. to come and share his experience, strength and hope. Ali, over to you.
Thanks, Julian. Hi, everybody. My name is Ali. I'm a grateful alcoholic. First and foremost, Andy, thank you, brother, for your gracious invitation. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you to all the servants in this group for your gracious invitation, because you guys create a space where we can come and celebrate this beautiful program that we've all experienced in our lives. You guys create a space which allows me to come here and participate in my recovery in that way. You know, I appreciate that. I'm not here to doing anybody a favor. You guys have done me a favor by extending me an invitation. This program has given me everything that means anything in my life, man. This beautiful program. And what I'm reminded of always is that there's a responsibility that comes with service of any kind in Alcoholics Anonymous, especially service like this. And part of the responsibility is to know that I'm not here to teach anybody anything or tell you what to do. What I pray is that, see, when I'm truly on the beam, I believe, when I'm truly on the beam, I'm present to the fact that I'm a speck among specks. I'm just a grain of sand in the billions and billions and billions of grains of sand in this universe, and just a spoke in the wheel. And what I pray is that the Spirit allows me to disrobe in front of you. So you see the wounds and the chinks in the armor and the crack in the psyche and the maybe possibly at times broken heart. Because see, it's been my experience that God shines through the cracks. It's been my experience that God carries his water in broken jars. That's how we can drink from each other's souls as he carries us from our experiences. And it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. I landed here broken in every way you can imagine. Suicidal. I couldn't put 2 days together sober. I felt like I was a shell of a man laying on the sidewalk of life. Ugly on the outside and inside. Nobody wanted to have anything to do with me. And my solutions to life were to drink at it and try to kill myself and run away from it. I fell in love with you guys when I found you guys. The beautiful long-timers, the people that came before me with your kindness, with your humility. What you would do is you would tell me, Ali, come on in, kid, have a cup of coffee. If you situate yourself in the middle of the circle and triangle to the best of your ability, you will tap into a power that is going to revolutionize your way of being and thinking. And that's what I've done to the best of my ability, fumbling and stumbling and broken, making mistakes. Woo! Yet, despite all of that, I have tapped into a power that has taken a broken, ugly soul like me from the scrap people life and put me in this beautiful life today with all its ups and downs. All of it is sacred. All of it. The joy and the pain. It's all sacred. It's beautiful life today. I'm sober today because of a loving God, because of a forgiving God. And if the word God bothers you or arises an antipathy in you, I want to let you know that me too. I didn't come into these rooms wanting to believe or believe in much, you know, on enough. Long timers, what they told me is that you just come in, you just have a seat and come up with your own conception of God. Because all I need to do is that my ideas did not work anymore. In order for me to become open-minded to that God idea, I had to exhaust every single idea that I had in this conscious, limited mind, that I can stay sober and happy in this life. And every one of those had to fail for me to be dragged back here, tail between my legs, humbled and surrendered. I don't have the power to do neither of them. Under the lash of alcoholism. Humbled and surrendered. And you guys love me anyways. And I heard you finally, that humility, that beating, that humiliation of the first step experience that is so crucial. opened up my mind, opened up my heart, and I heard you when I came back. I was in and out for 7 years. I heard you when I came back. That I've always had a power greater than myself. That I always believed in a God. I do not have a problem with the God idea. My God's name was alcohol. I worshipped alcohol. Alcohol dictated how I lived my life for 20 years. It's not that I have a problem with the God idea. It's that I haven't had a sufficient ass whooping yet. That's what it is. It's a step one issue for me. Everything, every balking, every stopping, every argument, every debate society is a step one issue for me, you know? I started drinking at the age of 16, a little bit late by some of the stories that I hear, some friends, you know. But I could tell you, we have a lot of similarities, even though details are different. Right from the first drink for a few years, I felt like my skin would fit. I felt like the world made sense. I felt like I could breathe every time I would drink. And then slowly but surely, alcohol became the rapacious creditor who robbed me of everything that meant anything in my life. Left me in grungy motel rooms with bottles of vodka and all the ugly extracurricular activity that follows that kind of lifestyle, wanting to die every minute of the day. See, I'm an alcoholic because of the effect produced by alcohol, not because of the number of DUIs I get. I'm an alcoholic because alcohol filled that God-sized void that you guys told me about. That for years I tried to fill it with external stuff, with acknowledgement, with jobs and girlfriends and accolades and love, and it filled it to such a degree that I chased it to the gates of insanity and death for 5 years after it stopped working. That's powerful. That's mind-boggling. Did you hear what I said? It stopped working. Like the last 5 years of my drinking, I would drink into oblivion. And my mind is still racing. My skin still hurts. I still want to kill myself. I'm still full of fear. Yet I'm still drinking. It stopped working. It's making things worse. Why are you still doing it? Because I'm powerless. Because when one goes in me, I can't tell you when I'm going to stop. Because when one goes in me, something mind-boggling happens that the mind, that the brain and the body conspire to kill me. You call it an allergy, abnormal reaction, you said, to alcohol. What it looks like in my head is go, 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 go until some kind of death or destruction happens in my life. Bank accounts in the red. She's kicked me out. They've fired me. I have no place to stay, and I just want to die from one drink. I'm just going to have one drink from one drink. Time after time after time after time, because if that was the only issue, we would have been one and done, wouldn't we? Oh, allergy destroyed my life. No more. But that's not the baffling part of alcoholism, is it, as we know it? See, the baffling part of alcoholism is this utter inability in me to leave it alone, no matter how great the necessity or the wish, no matter how decade of experience of in and out, in and out, in and out, knowing about the physical allergy, knowing that I'm powerless when I have the first one, yet I'm still going back to it. Suicide attempt after suicide attempt, psych wards and emergency room visits and charcoal drinks and slash wrists and my mom's crying tears and broken heart. Umpteen times. Followed by umpteen promises that I won't do this again. Meaning it. Yet I'm still back. Cunning, baffling, and powerful. Cunning, baffling, and powerful. There isn't enough information in all the encyclopedias and all the books and all the libraries on this earth that I can consume that would teach me to stay stopped. There isn't enough fear that you can instill in me. You're fired. I'm going to leave you. You're going to end up in the streets. You're going to die. There isn't enough beatings that you could give me that is going to make me stay stopped. Forget about all that. The most powerful thing that we know in this world, multi-billion-dollar industry that brings men and women across the ocean to land they have no clue what to do with. Wars are started over it. Mountains are moved over it. Love. Love is not enough. That's how powerful this illness is. You know that same love that has a mother jump in front of a car for her kids? Not enough. Not enough. Cunning, baffling, and powerful. See, when I became present to that powerlessness of it, the depth of despair of this terrifying illness, then the God idea was nothing. Okay. I don't know if I believe, but tell me about it. I want to try it. I want to try it. You know? I fell in love with you guys, as I said, when I met you guys in 2006. I was in and out for 7 years, but for the first 6 months of that, I was so happy, and I felt like I found my tribe, you know? I found a group of people that drank like me. You guys loved me. You were just kind to me, kept on inviting me to keep coming back. After about 6 months of sobriety and lots of meetings and lots of fellowship and lots of service at the group level, I went and drank, and I was in and out for 7 years, on and off at that time. And for those 7 years, I was always either angry at you or depressed because I didn't know why do I keep drinking? I'm coming to your meetings. I'm setting up your chairs. But today I'm not confused. I'm a little bit more clear today, you know? When I look back, I see that I was doing what I always did in life, cutting corners, wanted something for nothing, wanted to come to a 12-step program and not work the 12 steps, dibble-dabble in the 12 steps, argue with you guys about the 12 steps, or about what God is or isn't. I knew a lot. I knew a lot. But those 7 years are no longer a sense of shame for me, obviously, because they served a purpose. It's what I needed. It's what I needed to come to you guys a little bit more humble. My last drunk wasn't as bad as a 50 before then. I was renting a room in a men's recovery home, Southeast Toronto. I was back in Alcoholics Anonymous for 4 months, going to a lot. I mean, I wasn't working, so I was going to 2-3 meetings a day, you know? A lot of setting up chairs and kitchen duty and coffee pots and all that kind of stuff. Dibble-dabbling in the steps. I knew a lot about the steps. I would argue. I was the know-it-all, you know? I went and drank for one night, came back, snuck back into that room, passed out and came to. I was in so much pain. I remember my mind was racing. It was torturing me. You're a piece of crap, you loser. Why don't you take your own life? Free yourself and your loved ones of this ugly existence. A drink would fix that. A drink would fix. That's what it would tell me. Something magical happened to me. Because my knees got bent on, my mouth opened up, and a prayer came out of me. I always say it like this because it's my truth. I did not pray. I swear to you I did not pray. A prayer came out of me, and I heard it. God, whoever you are, whatever you are, I don't really know if you are, but if you are, can you just please help me not be like this anymore? Because I'm tired, God. I'm tired. What a beautiful prayer that is. From a broken soul, from a humbled spirit. One prayer. Power of prayer. It was as if God shined his light and just caressed me and brought me back to the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. I haven't had one drink since that prayer before I met you guys. The drink was taken away. I haven't had one attempt at suicide. That is huge. It's a miracle for somebody like me. I came back to the rooms of, I was brought back to the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous with my tribe. A new teacher was placed in my path, and this teacher opened the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous with me, and we started to go through it line by line. We followed the black on the white, and if it said to do something, I would do it. If it said to identify, I would identify if I could. And I could tell you as a result of these steps, the best way to describe it is that I was set on fire, man. I was set on fire. I'm still on fire a few years later. But sometimes I always feel like I have to qualify this. So not on fire as in like living a perfect life and walking on water and da da da. No, no, no. Like a deep yearning inside of me. It hasn't stopped glowing. It had the intensity is just getting more and more. Deep yearning to have a deeper relationship with this loving power, with this inner resource you called it, with this loving God. A longing. The best way to describe it is a longing to serve, to be with you, to try to be a little bit better today than I was yesterday. That's a roaring flame in Alcoholics Anonymous. Believe me, to try to be a little bit better today than I was yesterday. I love the long timers with their quiet power. Show me. With their quiet power. I love the long timers. As a result of these steps, making amends, cleaning house, trusting God, helping, prayer and meditating in order to pass it on. A new world keeps coming to view. A new world has come into view for me the last few years. Every time I think the problem that I have has to do with the externals, as if like these steps as a way of life, they just become a spiritual mirror right in front of me. And I got to look at me every single time. I get to look at me. A spiritual mirror that turned the addicted father's beatings and terror he caused in our lives, turned that around. And I got to see the cries of a man that was beaten as a kid, that was molested as a kid, that the best he could with what he had. He always had our back financially. I got to see all that with my heart. I got to see that in 1986, he left everything that was near and dear to his heart. A good paying job, managing 400 people, lots of money, accolades, his opium addiction fed. I got to see that he left everything that was near and dear to his heart in 1986. Picked us up and brought us all the way across the ocean to a new land where he didn't speak a word of English. He was scared he can't find a job, even though we had a bunch of money that we brought. He was afraid he couldn't find a job, so he got a job delivering pizzas at a pizza joint. At nights he would mop the floor and tears would come down his eyes, I found out later. And I got to see what love looks like. And this spiritual mirror showed me what I failed to do in my active alcoholism. I didn't do that for my kids, for my family, for my parents. I yelled at them and I swore at them and I blamed them and I caused terror in their lives and I stole from them. Spiritual mirror. And this old man, he's 79 years old now. He became an old man overnight. He just started to wear it. He's late stages of Alzheimer's now. He's in the hospital, waiting for long-term care. He doesn't recognize anybody. Not my mom, not my sister, not my wife, but me. Every time I go to the hospital to visit him, and I try to go often, big smile on his face. Hey. I give him a kiss. I feed him. We sit there and he attempts communication and I just listen. Loving God. Loving power. Freedom. A whole new world comes into view. I have so many examples like this in my life, and so do you. I know that. You know. Last few years, all I've done to the best of my ability is clean house, trust God, help others, self-examination, prayer and meditation in order to pass it on. In order to serve God's other kids in and outside of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I've stepped back and I've been watching. I've been watching in awe, really, of this power what she's doing in my life, what she's done in my life. In awe. The fact that Afsi and I, my wife, sober? Are you kidding me? The fact that I have peace in my heart most of the time. The serenity in my mind. It is priceless, man. Like, you can't buy this because I tried. I tried. It is priceless. Wow. The fact that I'm happy most of the time. Gifts of sobriety. Ashley and I are coming up to this May. We're celebrating 13 years of a marriage, man. I always had short-term relationships. Nobody wanted to have anything to do with me. 13 years of marriage. That's a miracle for someone like me. A loving marriage. Soldier God she is. Beautiful soul she is. Outside and inside. I punched above my weight class. I did well for myself. I always wanted to just, I don't know why, it's not for not everyone's experiences. Attempted suicide, but mine is not just thoughts, attempts. Attempts, serious attempts. So I just never wanted to be here. Just never wanted to be here. And about a little over 11 years ago, God, who has a sense of humor, my God has a sense of humor with me. He's like, here you go, you selfish prick. You complaining about life? Here you go, take care of one of my other kids. Darius is 11 years old now. Don't sleep for 2 years. Stop complaining. And he's one of the best things in my life, Darius. He's such a gentle soul. He knows all your prayers. We jog together and we play together. I tell him I love him. You're handsome, baby. You're smart. You can do anything you want. Daddy's got your back. Don't you worry about it. I got your back. He's such a gentle boy. I learn from him. About 4 or 5 years ago, COVID just destroyed my timeline and just lack of sleep because it destroyed the rest of my memory. However long ago it was, I think 5 years ago, Ashley got in her heart that she wants to have another baby. And all the doctors that we saw, we visited, they told us no. One clinic took us on, but in vitro, we did in vitro, and the doctor was an honest doctor. He said, listen, you're going to spend all this money. You have a 1% chance of a healthy pregnancy. Don't waste your money. And I'll never forget my wife holding my hands at the doctor's office, and tears just started to roll down her cheeks. And she looked at this doctor and said, Doctor, you do whatever you need to do, and we'll do what we do. Because you don't know the God that we know, do you, Doctor? Maximus is 2 years old right now. A loving power. A loving God. This boy is a daddy's boy. He's an anomaly. Boys are mama's boys, including me. He's an actual daddy's boy. Daddy. Everything's daddy. It's hilarious. Like, I'm the one that didn't want him. Not didn't want him, but when Afsi had it in her heart, I argued against it. You know what I mean? Like that, because for all the reasons I had. Self-centered reasons I had. And this boy, I feel like God just brought him in this world to just tell me that, hey, you're doing okay. Because all he does is give me love. All he does is give me love. He teaches me on a daily basis what it is to love. What it is to love. No beautiful thing. Just so many gifts in this beautiful sobriety. So many gifts. So many gifts. Priceless. Priceless. You know? The last little while when I had the opportunity to share with you guys this way, on the podium or on Zoom, I don't know why it always comes to me to end it this way. I always have to let you know, the newcomers, the new people coming back, and the people that may be in pain, that as my wife Afsi says, it's not all rainbows and lollipops. Life gets lifey sometimes, and life's in session sometimes, and life is difficult in recovery sometimes, and there are valleys in life. Ashley and I got separated 6-7 years ago. We almost got divorced. I couldn't find a job for a few years to help support a family, and that was just the noise in my head that I'm a loser. I'm not a real man. I'm not a real dad. How can you not support your family financially? The depression that follows that. The depression that followed me from childhood into adulthood, into recovery, sponsoring people, praying, meditating, speaking here and there, depressed sometimes, can't get out of bed, and ashamed, feeling like a fraud. Now I got solutions for that, outside help and inside help, everything's transformed, but cancers and deaths in the family. My father's Alzheimer's, my mother beginning stages of dementia. She's undiagnosed. Can't do anything for her. Just praying and staying, watching, trying to be available. My sister just recently ended up, it came to light that she, I don't know if that's the right word, she embezzled my parents' mortgage. She took out over the last 10 years, $400,000 or $500,000 from their little condo. They might lose it now. There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot has happened in the last decade or so. If this program was just about, I wanted kids, I got kids. God is good. I have a beautiful life, God is good. I got a job, God is good. How cheap and shallow this program would be. Absolutely worthless it'll be. Because it'll be about Ali getting what he wants, my ego getting what it wants. I don't want a program like that, man. You've introduced me to a program that's filled with a deep sense of giving me a deep sense of meaning and purpose, because it works when life gets tough. It's a design for living in the valleys in life. That's the message of Alcoholics Anonymous for me. I get to stay sober in the darkest of the darkest of the dark times. I get to sit in the middle of in the eye of the storm, observing, being a little bit afraid, being sad and praying and being useful and having peace. That's what I want to talk about. That's a kind of program worth living. I'm born naked, I'm going to leave naked. Nothing in this world I'm going to take with me. I want a program that allows me to live a deep dash of usefulness. The valleys have taught me that happiness, the thing that I was chasing in my shallow existence, happiness, that, it hides under usefulness in Alcoholics Anonymous. Usefulness. Love hides under service. In this beautiful program that you guys introduced me to. This program, these steps, these meetings, these traditions, the fiber of the fabric of this life of mine is woven with you guys. This way of life has had to become a working part of my mind and my body. It's had to jump off the page of the fourth step, the fifth step, and it's had to become like breathing, like a way of life, which I get to do imperfectly. Like breathing. Because I don't suffer from a drinking problem. You know who suffers from a drinking problem? The person can say, this is hurting my life, put it down, walk away. That person suffers from a drinking problem. I suffer from alcoholism. It is a soul sickness. It is a spiritual malady in which on my own power, I'm always worried what you think about me. On my own power, there's always something to achieve, somewhere to get to. And when I get there, after the novelty of it wears off, it's still not enough. I feel empty. So let's drink. I suffer from alcoholism. That's why I need to tap into a power greater than me and greater than it. That's why I shouted from the rooftops, and I have no shame, and I do not apologize for my relationship with this loving God. A God that I do not understand, that my finite mind with my limited vocabulary, I gotta read more, with my limited vocabulary does not do justice in my attempt at a description of it. I can only experience it and walk with it. Hope the light of it shines through and make a feeble attempt at a description of what happens to me in my experience of it. I experience this loving power. And you cannot tell me there isn't a God. Not in my life, man. Not in my life. I have ample evidence. I'll end a little early because it's finished. I want to just say, for those friends that are new or newly coming back or in pain today, I wish I could show you when you're lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. Hafiz said that 700 years ago. I wish I could show you when you're lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. Get a home group, get a sponsor, dive in these steps, and we'll show you, because the old timers showed you. Thank you for showing me. God bless you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for this meeting. Thank you for this opportunity.